we want to win, but regardless, we want a judge who's paying attention and makes careful note of the evidence and makes a ruling on the evidence. And the ruling was made today on the evidence, and we prevailed. And, Scientology needs to take note. This is the fourth such restraining order. They do different varieties. This is the fourth restraining order on which I've been retained to represent the protester. And we've won on each one. 4 for 4. So I don't know if they want to keep bringing it on, because I'm going to keep coming back to court representing protesters against Scientology. And I'm going to conduct my trials the same way I conducted this one and the others. And I don't think Scientology should keep doing this. I think Scientology needs to recognize that they're on thin ice. Because it's very clear each one of these litigants that brings these bogus restraining orders is either obviously funded by Scientology. In one of the cases, the litigant admitted they were funded by Scientology, or they are deeply, deeply embedded and ingrained and involved in Scientology, and they're just doing their bidding. In this case, every single person on the petitioner's side was some kind of Scientologist, including a lawyer and his assistant, all the people involved, and they had other Scientology people showing up, some lawyers. This is about Scientology. This is not about these individual people needing restraining orders. They are abusing the restraining order process. And I've been doing restraining orders for 23 years. Restraining orders are serious. Restraining order law, whether it's civil harassment, elder abuse, or domestic violence, is there to protect vulnerable people who need protection. The reason they have a provision that if you are too afraid to notify the other party that you're getting a TRO, you don't even have to give them notice that within 24 hours you're going to court. And that's to protect people who are genuinely at risk. And I think Scientology is treading on very dangerous territory to continue to do the same thing with these unwitting litigants, often who don't even realize how they're being used, over and over and over. The Scientology protesting is also helping our city. And the protesters that are out there discouraging people from getting involved with this cult, it's a cult, and they act like a gang. We've heard the phrase recently, the accusations are actually admissions. And the way they kept calling my client a gang member, and saying and an agitator, and the words that were used, those can be used about Scientology.
Meanwhile, they're child trafficked kids.
Like a gang.
Yeah.
They are a cult.
Danny mentioned that too.
They are a cult, and they need to have
They're child
absolute
trafficking
control,
kids.
and they do
Cult,
have absolute
no
control
less.
over their members. And unsuspecting people, tourists up on Hollywood Boulevard, people in the Blue Building area that get involved with this place thinking, oh, I'm just going to look into it. And then they get sucked in, and next thing you know, they're in a cult. I think warning people about that stuff. I've had the opportunity to talk with individuals, and some of you were here, that were raised in Scientology and were subjected to abuses that are horrific. And in my family law practice, I have gone up against child sexual abusers who are the parents of their own children. So some of the stories I've heard from people that grew up in Scientology cross into that territory. And it's horrifying. And the fact that the protesters are monitoring and documenting and filming the transport of children in and out of Scientology buildings, documenting all these bizarre things they see at all hours of the day and night, and then putting it on live stream on YouTube. What a service. What a service.
Yes.